me, junkies. How are you? What are you doing? Hey, I just wanted to share a little personal little thing with you, on my transformational journey and my, I wanted to share something with you because I was thinking about it the other day and I thought, I don't know. I mean, just a few minute little video might be instrumental in someone's life, or if I could help or serve you in any way. So I was thinking, I'm a very big proponent of trying to, get in there and understand why we do the things that we do, or what's causing, us to feel a particular emotion and things like that. And I discovered that, like, even though it shouldn't be long-standing ways to get into alignment, because like, and I'm speaking of like drinking alcohol, or if you cut yourself, or you take depression pills, or you smoke crack, smoke pot, 3 hours a day, and you find yourself just doing these different things. Maybe you overeat, you binge eat, you might not eat. Maybe you have anorexia. Maybe you're a bulimic. Maybe you're, maybe you take tons of depression pills. Maybe you are depressed. Maybe you drink a bottle of wine a night. Whatever the case is, okay? I'm not here to judge. I've done some of those things. I'm not here to judge. And so my little vice, obviously, because of my background, probably is because I come from a very alcoholic background, and my vice was drinking, which is the way that I would, it's very prominent, okay? And that was the way I would try to fill the gap or the void within myself. And it didn't happen for very long, because I don't encourage long-standing, long-standing drinking or whatever it is that you're doing to, get into the path of least resistance. Because I don't encourage that, because basically what it's telling us is the reason that we do these things is because we're out of alignment with source energy. We're out of alignment with our inner being. And so we're using these particular vices or these particular things to fill the gap, because there's nothing worse in a human's life than feeling disconnected from their inner being and source energy, God, the universe, or whatever. And so when you don't feel connected completely, you look and search for all of these things to do to fill that void, because it feels so terrible to be disconnected with yourself. And so I think that that's the one thing that I realized is what I was doing was filling that gap with alcohol, because whereas alcohol and certain things that kind of aid in bringing you down to less resistance, you're more apt to be emotional, and whatever your thing is, it accelerates it, and it enhances it, okay? It enhances it when you're on these particular things. And your body will always acclimate to those things. Like, your cells go into like overtime to try to adjust to the chemicals or whatever we're doing to our bodies, right? And that's the same thing with the disease. And that's why if we continually don't fill the gaps with like self-love and alignment with source and God and, source energy, we will eventually create such a dis-ease in our bodies, and that's what causes cancers and things like that. And so I'm here to be a big proponent of, let's take care of our inner being, let's take care of our souls, let's love ourselves, so that we won't actually in the end need all of these different vices to fill the gap, because we know long-standing they're not going to work anyway, and I'm not here to judge you, because I am the most non-judgmental person. Just know that where you are today, even if you're high and you're watching this video, or you just cut yourself 47 times, and I totally get it. I do understand why you do the things that you do, because we all want to feel so in touch with ourselves. Makes me cry because it makes me think that we hurt ourselves in a sense, and it's almost like we don't think we're doing it, or we don't recognize that we're actually hurting ourselves so badly when we're doing this to our bodies, you know? And so I just started thinking one day, I'm like, this isn't really working for me. Like, why am I trying to fill the gap with alcohol? Why am I trying to get drunk every night so I don't have to think about what? What am I trying to not think about? And so the more I recognized that, the more I understood, like, you know what? I'm not alone, and I'm not, you know, a hopeless case and all that. That's like all things that like source energy would never cause me to feel. I'm feeling these things because of conditioned beliefs, you know. And when you don't have other people, like my other video that I just shot today was about loneliness, is that when you feel alone, like if you don't know and you don't have the tools, you know, and the treasure trove tips to get through these particular emotions, you do whatever you can to feel less pain. I mean, I totally freaking get it. Like, who doesn't understand? Like, people sit in judgment all the time of like people like, oh my God, that person's a crackhead. Oh my God, that person's a wino. Oh my God, that person's homeless or whatever. It's like, you know what? Shut the freak up. You have no clue what these people are dealing with in their lives. Like, I just really have no tolerance. I mean, well, I shouldn't say I don't have any tolerance for people that they just don't understand. It's just they're so disconnected with themselves. And I try to remember that every day. Like, when people are standing in judgment, that would be me standing in judgment of them being in judgment of other people. Like, that's totally like, like, what is that called? An oxymoron or something? I don't know. But just don't be hard on yourself. And if you're struggling with addiction, or you're struggling with something that's really, really hard and you haven't been able to overcome it, just remember that source energy, that you know, source energy, source loves you. And they will always love you, and you will never be without them, and you are never lonely, and you are never by yourself. You know, you just need to love you. You need to love you, and you need to allow source energy to love you and your inner being, you know, because your inner being wants to connect with you so much, and it doesn't want to be sad and feel such disconnect from yourself. Yourself is really telling you that you don't want to be disconnected with yourself. And so I hope that served you. I hope that made sense. And I just want you to know, if you ever feel lonely and you feel like shit and you're having a bad day, like, I totally understand, and just know that I'm here for you. I love you, and you always have a friend in me. Like, if you ever want to just message me or go on social media or something like that, because I know sometimes you want just a sounding board. You don't even want somebody to give you an opinion or their advice or anything. If you just want to like bounce, you know, just like scream at someone and just call them every name in the book, you know, because you're pissed off at life or your situation or circumstance or whatever, like, I'll totally be your sounding board. I don't want to give two rats ass about it. Like, I know it's not anything personal to me. You just want to, you know, cuss someone out without having to go to jail for the consequence, right? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I don't even know if this video made sense, but I don't even know if I'll even publish it, but maybe I should. Anyway, all right. I love you. I'm yours until my next swim. Ciao.